Obviously, the first thing that stands out about UCF is their tempo. I mean, how do you keep up with that for 60 minutes?
Oh, it's phenomenal how fast they go. They're averaging 97 snaps a game. You would hope sometimes the officials would keep up with it because there's guys moving all over the place right before the snap sometimes, and officials can't keep up with it. But it's an impressive thing how they do it. Fortunately, we played against them last year, so we do have a little bit of an idea how it works.
How much do you feel like that's an advantage, having seen it last year, when it comes to preparation?
It's incredible. Stanford played them this year for the first time, and I think when you watch the game, you see them not realizing how fast it was, and so I think it is an advantage to have had played them before.
Did you do anything differently, preparation, or plan on doing anything differently, preparation-wise, this week than you did last year?
Yes.
Anything specifically with the tempo?
No.
Geez, you're not going to tell us?
Oh, you guys are out there for part of it, but we're getting prepared differently. Let's put it that way.
And talking about like personnel in this game, I mean, do more guys in your room need to be ready just to
For sure.
Like
It's 100. I think the most snaps we've had right now are 70 in a game. So if you prepare for 97, that's 30 more snaps. So yes, more guys have to play and have to be ready to play.
How confident are you in the guys not named Dane, Damari, and Jason that if they get in at corner, that they come in for a play or two, they'll be all right?
Yeah, well, they were all in last week. Every one of them was in, so I have total confidence. That's a pretty good team we played last week too.
What's the key if you improve? And I assume you've improved since Virginia. I give out 10 to 17 to Penn State. What's the key for you guys?
We just keep working. Just keep doing the basics.
What are you doing well? I don't know.
Well, you have to keep practicing tackling. You have to keep practicing taking on blocks. In this game, just getting lined up in time and making calls, and it comes down to just basic football, tackling and blocking and taking on blocks and then making plays.
Your secondary is making more plays than they made against Virginia.
For sure, everybody is, and I think that's why you just keep practicing and keep trying to get better every week, and that's all we're trying to do.
You get a lot of pressure without blitzing against Penn State. How important is that against a team that makes it tough to call sort of the more exotic blitzes you have?
Sure. Well, it is difficult because they catch it and they throw it quick, so it's really hard a lot of times to get pressure. But you can also get your hands up and tip balls, and then hopefully once in a while that tempo, makes issues for them, and maybe one of our guys gets free and hits the quarterback.
When you don't blitz, do you get more guys in the secondary and you cut off more passing lanes that way?
Yes.
Was that the key in the Penn State game?
You just got to mix it up. I think if you do one thing and one thing only, anybody can beat you. And the more you can change up and give different looks, options, blitzes, not blitzes, I think it just keeps people off guard, and that's the object.
How well is Paris playing? How much has he improved since day one?
Oh, he's just continuing to get better. And honestly, so as you guys just mentioned, everybody is. Everybody's working hard and just trying to get, as Coach Narduzzi says, 3% better every day. If we do that, by the end of the season, we ought to be a really good defense.
Is he one of the biggest difference makers since last season?
Well, Paris makes plays, no doubt, and he's around the ball, and that's a real benefit. And I think at this point some of the other guys are stepping up too, and hopefully he's not the only one making plays. And we had some pretty good hits Saturday. Guys were making plays and getting sacks, and so we just got to continue as a group to find ways to have everybody make plays.
How is UCF different maybe this year than what you guys saw from last year? Anything kind of change on tape?
Not really. I think they, early they had Winbush in there, who's a little more of a running style quarterback. I think the young man they have now is very similar to the Milton, and so I think the offense is very similar. I don't think you see a whole lot different between this year and last year with the offense.
Randy, how do you defend speed?
How do you defend speed? Well, you got to make sure they can't run the ball. You got to make sure they can't catch the ball, and you got to get lined up quick. Those are really it. Number one, you got to get lined up because they get lined up very fast. And then, where they get you in trouble is when kids don't get lined up, and they don't make their calls, and then guys are, all over the place. And, most of the time when you see big plays, that's how that happens.
Is Damar Damar the point man back there in terms of making calls and stuff? And I guess how critical is those one or two guys? On
Well, that position is.
right.
I mean, that position, whoever that is, has to make those calls. That's his job.
Yeah.
And so we do rely a lot on him, and we rely a lot on our middle backer. Those are the two guys that get most of the things lined up and checked and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Talking to Pat yesterday, I mean, he credited Central Florida. They're on this great run. As
Yeah.
you know, just being in Florida and having the athletes. I mean, when you look at them, is that what you see? Just incredible speed,
Oh,
athleticism.
for sure. They have great speed and athletic ability, and I think they recruit to that. They've also got quite a few kids who have transferred in, and those kids are big-time players. And so a few of those guys are making big plays also.
Randy, you got a former safety playing linebacker, Neil Paris, out there who wasn't
Yeah.
out there last year. Is because of those two things, and maybe some other things, defense faster this year than it was last year?
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah, the more you can move guys from fast positions up, the faster you get. And, it's just a matter of time. As those kids play more and more, they get better at what they're doing.
And Pierce isn't the biggest guy in the world, but he seems to be as physical as anybody out there.
Oh,
right?
for sure. Paris is a physical player, regardless of size. You can take it per pound, and he's as physical as
Is
anybody.
that a mindset?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
How do you evaluate your linebacker play so far through the first couple of games?
I thought we played very well. If you think about it, we lost 3 starters, 3 fifth-year seniors, and I think the kids have come on and played really well. And if you think about it, we've lost 8 starters from last year. If you take the 2 guys who are starters who are out, we have 6 starters plus the 2 this year, and I think the kids have been able to overcome, and guys have stepped up, and they're going to continue to get better because there's a lack of experience. So,
Sorry.
yeah.
I was looking at the tape and watching the different things that you do with Jalen Twine, and he's a guy that can beat a double team. He's a guy you can twist with. You drop him into coverage on a couple zone blitzes. How much fun is it as a defensive coordinator to have a guy at that position, that athletic, that talented, that you can do so many different things with?
Well, he's a bright young man, and he's also a football mind, and so all of those things make it really easy to change him up a lot. So yeah, it's really nice to have that kind of talent.
Are you going to be rotating in middle linebacker as much as you guys have the past few weeks, given the getting on the ball quickly and
Well, they run 97 snaps, so we will be rotating 22 guys for this week.
And how confident, I guess, or are you in those middle linebackers? Given Elias has started and Chase has started, and now Salim.
Sure. Yeah, I'm confident as I can be. They've all played now. They've all got some experience under their belt, and I think they've done a great job. We didn't have issues at all last week.
Anything else?